Hello, hailing frequencies open, my lovely friends and nerds. Greetings to you, wherever and whenever you might be. You join us today for episode 3, kind of session 4, but episode 3 of Star Trek Lower Decks New Moon. Ooh, you join us as the away team, currently down on Maglum Prime, trying to solve the enigmatic mystery that, as people disappear on camera, slightly alarming, the enigmatic mystery of a disappearing XO, a failed crop, and a very strange presence inside the planet itself. It's not a strange present inside the planet that's been wrapped up with a bow for a long time. That's a different episode. We'll save that for another day. So, no retcons today. But before we get into actually doing fun stuff, I suppose this is kind of fun, let's get to know the people around the table. So, first off, in my very planned out routine, Killian, introduce yourself and your character to the people at home, please.
Hi, I'm Killian, and I'm playing 4 of 8, the liberated Borg Aurelian, who didn't make as many jokes last time, but we'll get there.
Could do better. No, kidding. Next, Matt, over to you. Who are you? What's your name and who are you playing?
Hi, I am Matthew. I am playing Jonathan Richards, the human, boring, beige ensign who didn't crash and blow anything up this week.
Awesome,
Personally,
thank you.
win.
And yet, there's time. And Sabina, if I could tear you away from your very handy-dandy manual that seems to be there, what is that you're reading? Who are you and who are you playing?
Sorry, I was catching up on medical research. Anyway, hi, I'm Sabina. I play Ensign Saleya, the Vulcan medical officer, hence the medical research. Hi. Great to be back. Sorry I missed last episode. I was buffering.
Apparently so. And finally, a bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, I hear. Michael, over to you. Who are you? Who are you playing?
Hello, yes, I am Michael. I am neither of those things, ever, really. And I will be playing Ensign Rock Samara, half Klingon, half Betazoid, ready to punch a Maglin.
Awesome. Yes, and remember, everybody at home, if you do happen to find yourself bushy-tailed, go and speak to your nearest healthcare practitioner. So, previously on Star Trek Lower Decks New Moon, the away team had, for the most part, made it to Maglum Prime. Saleya is currently still buffering aboard the Indala, whilst the engineering department are working on that particular problem. Meanwhile, on the planet, the XO was working hard with the people of Maglum Prime to keep up the cultural obligations, whilst the away team was busy almost running children over and deploying the multivariate nucleonic subterranean probes under the concerned eye of Kimberlito. Whilst researching the failed crops, they realized that sections of the amino acid chains of the crops and soil were missing. Bum, bum, bum. Commander XO popped in to visit to see how the away team were doing, having had a very hard day of crown-wearing, partying, dancing, drinking, feasting, and otherwise celebrating the forthcoming planetary alignment and blessing, only for him to disappear, leaving behind a trace of transphase ionic energy. Then, the team detected his comm badge a short distance away in an underground structure. Kimberlito protested that it was not safe to enter the Underharvest. However, the away team went in anyway. I'm sure that's not a cultural problem at all. And after a short, thankfully safe adventure into the cave system, they encountered a strange entity that only was able to communicate through imagery and only for a very brief period of time. The team re-emerged to find Kimberlito mid-panic attack, and then they made a plan, or started to make a plan for what they were going to do next. The final words being, Kimberlito, oh God, your XO's dead. Followed by Rock with the enigmatic line, it's more than that. Your planet is strange. Back on the ship, in main engineering, the camera sets up behind a bunch of tightly clustered people in engineering colours, everybody in gold. Around a console, the air is tense. Not really a lot of talking is going on. There's a whir of computers in the background. The warp core is offline, so its usual thrum and light is not present. The camera pans up slightly over their shoulders to reveal the console that they're looking at that shows a percentage complete clock, which is currently sat at 99%. It then hits 100%, flashes green with a bing. An instant cheer erupts throughout main engineering until one of the crew hushes the crowd, taps his comm badge and goes, "Main engineering to bridge." Go ahead. Warp core diagnostic complete. Green across the board, switching back to main power. Understood. Bridge out. Okay, now, and then the party erupts. There are party hats, a confetti cannon goes off, there's a conga line, there are shots of something absolutely not alcoholic, and a general party atmosphere. The warp core diagnostic has completed, we're back onto main power, ship's in good shape. Ship shape, you might say. We then cut over to the astrometrics lab. There's a silent pause as a planetary scan goes ding, and 3 planets light up green, followed by a chant of chug, 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 as the off-duty astrometrics team, don't try and say that too quickly, enjoy the celebration of a planetary alignment falling into place. Whilst the noise off in the background, we tune into a conversation between a Trill science officer and her ensigns. So when we hit the alignment threshold, we only have a few minutes to run the full subspace quantum spectral scan. So we will have to be ready to hit it right on the button. Got that? Yes, ma'am, the ensigns almost bark in unison. We cut now to the transporter room where Chief Crankit continues. Okay, step 4792. Slot the left gusset manifold into the subharmonic thrust override vectoring port with the transcendental flange mount pointing downwards, then close the access port. Step 4793. Reattempt materialization. There's a pause. The computer whirs. Bugger. Step 4793A. If materialization fails, realign the subspectral emitter. Oh, fuck it! And he kicks the base of the transporter pad as hard as he can. Computer voice goes, subspectral emitter array realigned. Commencing emergency rematerialization cycle. The transporter whirs to life as main power is restored, drawing additional power directly from the warp systems through the additional redundant EPS grid that the Indala has had installed for just such an occasion. The camera cuts to Magnum Prime as a singular beam pattern emerges and Saleya arrives a number of hours later than expected, all alone, on Magnum Prime. And the opening credits roll. Ships and stars and punching fights and people losing teeth.
Sharon!
And Sharon. People in fabulous gowns and races in buggies and kids almost getting run over. Strange feelings. And then there's a crescendo and a ship disappears to warp after its nacelles pop up. So we we emerge out of the credits to join 4 of 8, Jonathan, Kimberly, Rock, and Ensign Hollybush outside of the cave, having just finished their conversation around the death of the Exo.
I mean, we're still not entirely sure that he is dead. He just seems to be...
Can you survive without a hit, though?
Well, we can't have him back. That does.
regardless, we should figure out how we can report this to the ship.
Perhaps if we
Because
head
we are not
towards...
commanders, and this was the only commander on planet.
Yes.
Well,
And, well,
still have the
Starfleet
problem of all the
regulation would
interference.
suggest, Rock, that as you have seniority, you would be in charge.
My favorite. Right. Well, let's try this one more time. Ensign Samara to Indala, are you there?
Papa, can you hear me? Sorry, I could not resist that opportunity. Again, static. Whereas previously, actually, let's make a roll for this to see if you can work it out. Give me an insight, engineering, or science roll. I don't know why I sang that.
Ooh,
Fun.
I'm very good at both of those. I'm lying.
I know. I'm a no. Yeah. You can't get through and you don't know why. There's just static.
It's broken.
I think 4 is on her tricorder and trying to pinpoint all of the comm badges on planet just to see if by chance another commander came down for any reason.
Okie dokie. Make me a control. No, reason. I will allow reason. And science or
Alright.
engineering. Science, probably. Yeah, science.
Yeah.
I keep saying science.
None of my focuses work, so all right. Roll dice. Off to a fantastic start.
Oh boy.
From the scan, you can determine it's not that the tricorder explodes or anything yet. You can you at least know that there are as many comm badge signals minus the one for the commander as there should be. You actually notice that there are as many as there always should have been, because there should actually be one less if Solea was still stuck in a buffer somewhere. So scanning on planet, you're fine. Scanning out of, or trying to get a signal out of the planet, that's not so great. So I will give you that you've realized Solea's here.
We at least have Solea back, it seems. I have located her comm badge on the tricorder, so hit my badge. Solea, are you there and read me?
I read you.
Good to hear you. Apparently you got stuck. There's a lot we need to catch you up on. Are you at the landing site?
I am.
We will be there as soon as possible.
See you
She's
soon.
at the landing site, and we should go and get her.
Great. It's an order then. Let's go. It's also a race. Bye.
Hey, we only took the one vehicle to the cave entrance, so we've only got one vehicle.
I'm racing myself. It's fine.
So, question, are you going to go and get the other vehicles and then rendezvous, or are you going to just go straight back to the landing site?
I think we'd go straight back to the landing site because there is more important things afoot than making sure we bring back all the equipment.
Okay, make me a daring con roll, please, Rock.
Aye. Also want to get to Solea before the planet also eats her.
He's a hungry planet.
I mean, it was hungry enough to eat the XO, which is not very appetizing. So.
I mean, have you
There
seen
we
his eyes?
go.
So, yeah, you put your foot down. There are no children in the way this time, thankfully. Cloud of dust, and off you go. 4 of 8 has got the wherewithal to hold on and keep her wings tucked in so she doesn't like catch any air accidentally and just start gliding off in a awkward direction. Jonathan, how do you feel being? Who's sat where in this vehicle? Just for, I'll let you all narrate that one. How do you get in? How are you being safe?
I'm definitely not in the front because of my wings, so I'm probably on a back bench with my wings tucked in behind the seat to try and not fly off, and then holding on to the roll bar.
Jonathan would have moved towards the driver's seat, and then when Rock sort of raced to occupy it, he'd climb in next to 4 of 8 so that he wouldn't be enticed to backseat drive. So now he's just holding on for dear life,
Okay.
like arms braced, legs wedged into the frame as much as possible.
Kimberlito will go shotgun and will do up the seatbelt, and Ensign Hollybush will be kind of in the back, arms up, woo-hoo-hoo, enjoying life to the full. Somewhere, somehow, she's managed to produce a pair of goggles so that she doesn't get dirt in her eyes, so she can enjoy being stood up to the max. So, yeah, she's loving every second. Yeah, so you take off in a cloud of dirt and dust, and you make your way through like bumps and turns and slides and under bridges. No, branches, that's the word. It was B. And then you skid to a halt in a cloud of dirt to Saleya.
Oh,
Should I
good.
be
The planet
impressed?
didn't eat you yet.
Sorry, I did not hear you. What was that?
I said, oh, good. The planet didn't eat you yet.
Pardon?
I'm gonna let you talk this time, Rock. Go for it.
The planet is alive in more than a normal sense.
With the sound of music.
Yes, 4. It ate the XO. He is now one with the planet. It's some sort of ritual or something. We're not entirely sure yet. But they paraded him through a bunch of traditions and things, and then the planet, and then he came to like talk to us. Then he was gone, and then we found his comm badge in a cave. We had a conversation with said planet, and we can't have him back. He is now one with Maglin.
You hear
Rock definitely skipped
crunch,
some things.
crinkle, crunch. Crinkle, crunch.
Oh, right.
Crinkle,
Sorry,
crunch.
we hadn't filled you in yet, had we? Yeah.
Kimberlito has another paper bag and he's hyperventilating into it again.
So important parts important parts missed in that summation. When he disappeared, there was transphase ionic energy, and it appears that he shifted dimensions, and we could kind of see his headless body in the under harvest, but not well.
It was weird.
We could see a headless body.
No, it was definitely him. I can make out the scan, like barely, but it's there.
I am able to tell you that whatever is with in the planet, is the planet, whatever, is one entity and is not like a hive mind, but it does absorb people
Yeah.
into it
And
every
it's not
100
hostile.
years with this alignment to re-up the harvest.
I think it felt guilt for what seemed like the first time ever once we explained that, that was our XO and we kind of wanted it back. Kind of.
Fascinating. And then she'll go and check on the person who is hyperventilating into the bag.
All right.
Medical
Yes,
training.
please do doctor things.
He's
Doctor.
exploded like 15 bags at this point with his hyperventilating.
There.
16 bags.
I take it you have not heard this information before. She'll say to the person that she does not know.
Oh, Saleya, this is Kimberlito. He is our agricultural liaison for our team.
Yeah. And no, we had.
And that's Holly.
Oh, yes. Ensign Bush glares
you're
at.
Oh, I see you know each other.
Returns to patient.
Oh, there are too many things I want to unpack here.
Random thought disappeared in my head, and I'm going with it.
Okay. So, Ensign Holly Bush gets to go first. Oh my God, Saleya, I've not seen you in ages. I didn't realize you were on the Andala. How did you get posted here?
I was assigned.
I know, but how? Did you request it? Did you just get it? Was it just luck? Was it just something? Did somebody finagle? Did you know someone? Did you what? Tell me everything. Why is she suddenly a Ferengi?
She was a Ferengi all along.
Oh, I have come to steal your gold press latinum.
What I got away with it too wasn't for you meddling in.
I didn't even know I could do Ferengi. There we go.
Sorry. I did no such thing. This was my post. Here I am.
Oh, that's so cool. Well, I'm sure if I come across anything that I can run past you, it'll be so cool to get your input on stuff because you're like so knowledgeable on like science shit.
Yes. Pardon me, I have a patient to attend to.
I'm just gonna lean over to 4. Are they flirting?
God, as far as I know, they hate each other.
No, I don't know quite the read I'm getting, but
Rock, would you please make me a control
command roll?
Insight.
Command?
I don't know if it's going to be command or medicine, to be honest.
Security.
You see, Rock, when Holly gets this excited, that means that she actually doesn't like the person. And with Saleya, she's just always this way. So I think that it's a no on both sides.
Yeah. Insight medicine.
This is going to be hilarious.
Can I make this too?
Barely matters, but either cold reading or psychology.
I'll give you psychology.
I'm going to drop a momentum on this.
Yeah, okay.
Fun. Wow. That's magical.
Despite what 4 has just explained to you, despite your abilities, you can't shake the feeling that they're definitely flirting. They must be friends.
There's definitely something there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's
Possible
something
that
there that
neither of
wasn't
them
there
know
before.
it. There's definitely something there.
Moving swiftly on. Saleya, you have your patient to attend.
Yes, I am helping them calm down.
Okay.
Deep
you can
breath.
certainly try.
A little light hypo spray.
Just go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Sleep time.
Sedative.
Insight medicine, please.
Insight medicine. Would my would this be medical field focus?
1 second, please, caller. I'll open the right character sheet. That will help. Medical field.
Yes.
I think I've just posted it in chat. That's not what I meant to do. Not what I meant it to do. That's also not a word. Yeah, I'll give it to you.
Yee. No, I'm not going to spend a momentum. Not yet. Oh, wait. I should have spent the momentum. It's okay. It's fine. I got 1 success. It's okay.
You can see he's panicking. Yeah. So, yeah, he looks up at you and goes, no. Why would I be good? You tell he's from Kimberley.
Okay.
You're telling me that my planet's eating people? That's what just
deep
breath. Paper bag.
Would you like me to give you something to calm down?
You think there's anything you can give somebody to calm them down when they find out that their own planet's eating people?
Sedative.
How strong is this sedative? Actually,
it's a mild sedative.
Roll me a
roll for sedative
medicine.
That I can do. Medical field again? Or emergency medicine?
Yeah, probably emergency medicine, yes.
And I will spend a momentum this time. So that 3. Hey!
There you go.
That's better. And I will put that us down to 2 momentum.
Oh, yeah, well. He sees you lunge at him with, not lunge, but move towards him with a hypo spray. I'm assuming it's a hypo spray and you've not just hit him with a brick.
It is a hypo spray.
I have a mild sedative. Whack! And he goes to put his hands up to try and stop you, but you've administered hypo sprays to reluctant people with more arms than this person. And you just get it in and he just kind of chills out. Amount of sedative, are you just like trying to get him to relax and everything's okay, Jedi mind trick, or is it just like sleepy time?
Relax and everything's okay, so we can still converse with him if need be.
Okay. Okay. my brain went to evil places. Have you scanned the Maglan people? Do you know what their physiology is like and therefore how much to administer? But that might be a little bit too much evil for one session, although I do have a lot of threat.
You do have a lot.
I do have rather a lot of threat.
You do.
You're welcome.
I'll save it for a rainy day. The weather changes, it starts raining. Okay, yeah, so he chills out and just kind of slumps down a bit. The paper bag starts to take normal breaths and he begins to chill the F out a bit more.
And then I'll return to my companions and Holly. All right, now that we have a calmer ambassador, what are we doing?
We need to talk to Guy Fossey or whatever his name was about this whole thing.
Moragai? Maffagai.
That one, yeah. It's almost there.
Well, do we, or do we think that they might be in on it? Because we kind of talked about
but
the rituals that Exo participated in, but Kimbolito was convinced that that wasn't rituals to sacrifice people.
I mean, we could play it close to the vest as much as possible, but we need to tell somebody that this has happened, and we can't get to, at least maybe with the Planetary Communications Network, we can get a hold of the damn ship.
This is true. Can I roll some form of insight to see if earlier? Oh no.
Oh no.
Sorry.
I didn't think it would have that effect, but that's I'm going to keep spending this now.
Roll some form of insight to see if what I have seen of Maffagai suggests anything nefarious. As you spend threat.
Okay, the threat was unrelated to what you were saying, so don't panic. Yeah.
The way my face went was...
It was just the way your voice broke. That's going to be fun on the replay. Clip that. Cool. So, make a presence command roll. This is going to be tricky.
I am going to spend a momentum on this.
Okay.
So 3 roll.
Okay. So your interaction with Maffagai has been very limited to just that opening speech.
Yes.
There wasn't really anything about them in the pre-reading either, other than they are the spokesperson for the planet currently. There was no information in the planetary pack about their political structure or anything like that. So you're literally flying based on that speech. The speech itself was relatively mundane in terms of speeches. It was a lot of grand speak, pretty fluffy words, no real gutsy content, nothing that really hooked you. The costume was definitely costume. It wasn't daywear, as shown by your interactions with Kimbolito and from seeing the other people milling around. They have functional clothes for functional stuff, and then they have ceremonial garb for ceremonial things, celebrating a well-shaped thigh. From what you remember, even with your enhanced memory from your Borg implants, not that we've defined that you have an enhanced memory, but even with those, if you have them, nothing remarkable sticks out as, oh, red flag. It was a affectatious welcoming speech.
I am loath to trust this person because of their flamboyance, but they're the most
Likely
commanding
suspect.
person we have access to.
Yeah.
Kimbolito, do you know where we would find Mafagai at this time?
Kimbolito, who has made friends with the local cat, scene-stealing hack. Kimbolito, nice and chilled out in the car, goes, looks at his watch and goes, probably at this time, they'll be in the main hall, probably get either costume change number 7 or drinking or getting ready with the 4th ceremonial cake. Yeah.
All right, Rock, there's buildings that way. Let's just head that way.
Yep. Sounds good.
Talea, we kind of can make a little room, and I'd like squeeze my wings, try to make room for Talea in the vehicle.
I'll just ride in the trunk.
Like
Where all the cargo
a
sits,
prisoner.
she just squeezes in there.
So,
So
Lays down in the back.
oh, I'm definitely
just-
driving.
every pothole. So from where the beam site was, it's only a very short walk. It's a couple of 100 meters up a steady incline to the like residential area. It's not very densely housed. It's not like a city or anything. It's just kind of a standard agricultural planet, multi-dwelling kind of central location. People kind of live off kind of in and around the nice lush greenery in which they have cultivated. But yeah, so the central location where the rest of our scenes will play out is a few hundred meters away. So you probably don't need to drive.
Oh, okay.
Can
All right.
I mean, you
whilst we are
can.
moving,
It would be wasteful, yeah.
whilst we are moving, because I just had a thought, can Jonathan try to use his brain just went blank? Can Jonathan try to use his tricorder to determine whether there is any signs of any advanced technology anywhere else on the planet?
When you say advanced technology, what are you looking for?
Maybe-
How advanced? Are we talking
Um,
Starfleet advanced? Are we talking Q advanced? Are we talking...
Not Q advanced, possibly Starfleet advanced.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe
You would
if they're really lucky, a
feel-
shuttle.
You would be aware that the limited range of your tricorder would mean, I don't know, I've put extra letters into that. I keep doing it tricorder like it's some kind of instrument, like tricorder. So you would probably need to either interface with a larger computer system, a larger maybe dish of some description, or network a bunch of them together to increase the range a couple of kilometers. You can probably, I'll say for the sake of argument, you can probably scan kind of the radius of a kilometer. That's fairly large. But if you wanted to scan beyond the range of a kilometer, you're going to have to network some together, which will involve some crude engineering. Nothing too hard, but it would require you to work with at least more than one person.
Can I try to command some of the other ensigns into helping this? Not the ensigns with him, but the other ensigns elsewhere doing their own thing.
You can just ask them. Yeah.
That seems less fun. Boss them about, but okay.
Johnny trying to throw his weight around.
Yeah.
You can ask them authoritatively.
With gusto.
With gusto. I think that's what he'll do then. He will send out a message and just ask for volunteers to network their tricorders so that they can attempt to find any signs of advanced technology, anything
Mhm.
that might possibly suggest that they weren't telling the entire truth about their
Okay.
reliance on, or their lack of reliance on technology.
Okie dokie. So make me a presence command roll. We'll see how many ensigns you inspire to listening.
Can I use my diplomacy focus?
You can.
Woohoo.
Oh no!
Oh no!
I specifically
Oh no.
didn't.
I swear, you roll more complications than the rest of us.
I think I have. Genuinely think I
I-
have.
We need somebody to run the stats on this, please. But I think all but one of the complications has been from Jonathan, if not all of the
I
And one
believe
was
so.
me. I had the complications when him and I were teamed up.
Yeah.
Maybe
Full
Jonathan is just
disclosure.
bad luck.
Yeah, he is not a plant. He's not a GM working for a GM. There's not some kind of pseudo GM hierarchy going on in here. Yeah, he's not really section like 31.
I'm not allowed to roll dice. Anybody that watches me roll dice knows this doesn't
And
work well.
he is the Will Wheaton of the group. Arm yourself with pitchforks and torches accordingly. Okay, so you tap your comm badge and you request some of the
I've got
other
13 and a
ensigns to give you
12.
a hand. No, floor dice don't count. Oh no, they didn't go on the floor. Sorry, I missed that. I thought you dropped them. But anyway, they don't count. You've already rolled. Tough. Sols. Should have just asked your friends. You see, I gave you the opportunity. I'm nothing if not
They were all
evil.
busy.
So one other person chimes in,
Better not be
and
Lauren.
no, they're one of the crew working on the other grid. They didn't have the forethought to make it a competition and therefore deploy their grid of probes super quickly. They're going about it much more methodically and accurately than your team did. Coincidentally, they're going to miss the celebration just because they're taking too long. But, you snooze, you lose. So they sync their tricorder with you. Yours is the driver. Theirs is the recipient of your instructions. So you have an extended range, but not as wide a net as you would maybe like to have achieved from this. So now, if you would like to make an control science or reason science, that would also be okay.
I was hoping for engineering.
So if I was making you roll to join them together, that would be engineering. I'm working on the basis that with both of your heads, you've successfully engineered them together. Now you're actually doing the science of trying to scam.
Can I assist?
Absolutely.
Please do.
So that is, what is it? Control science?
Reason science.
Reason science. Hey, I'm good
Reason
at that.
science. Okay, let me change this because I was just about to
And
roll
that's
control.
1 die, correct?
Did I
This
say
is going to
control?
go. You said
I
control
meant
and
to
then
say
reason.
reason.
I thought it was an even
Yeah,
or.
sorry, no reason.
I'm good at both.
No, I was saying control, but then I realized that it's not actually about controlling yourself and careful timing or self-discipline, but it's actually about logic, meticulous analysis, hypothesis, intricate planning, calculation, complex variables. That's probably more appropriate. I thought that was a 20 again.
So did I for a second. It's not just you.
Biology would not work in this, so I don't have any.
It would
focus
not.
that would work. Okay. Perform task. Un dice. Roll dice.
Oh,
no! I didn't help. I'm sorry. My
Shame.
bad.
Salaya, you are watching what Jonathan's doing. You listen to his call go out, and you thought, "Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll join in." But having not spoken to him beforehand, you start to try and match and mesh into the network that he's set up, but you miscalculate the frequencies that he's using, and you blow out one of the transponders in your tricorder. This tricorder is now not going to be of assistance to you for the rest of the mission.
All right. Well, I don't have a tricorder anymore, so I'll just put that away.
Oh, look, I've got a handy flashlight. I've got a box that goes wiggly wee when I point it at things, but it goes ding when there's stuff. Sorry. Jonathan, with one success.
Yeah.
You have failed. Please leave the Big Brother house. No. You detect signs of technology. That it's dotted around. There doesn't seem to be a like a formalized, rigorous structure to it. It sort of fits with the brief that you've read, that they are a technologically advanced culture, but they don't have a heavy reliance upon their technology in the way that Earth
like a
does.
big exclamation mark that says.
No, there's nothing on the map
Nefarious.
that's just like, oh, investigate this. There's no great big like hands going, there's no great big black spot on the map that has been blocked out for some nefarious reason. There's no glowing green radiation. It's just map with bits of, technological infrastructure around, but nothing that's calling out to you as to be of concern.
Jonathan will just lastly kind of slip Saleya his tricorder and just be like, you'll probably get more use out of this than I will. Just maybe don't break it.
I
The captain's already angry at me.
Thank you, Ensign Richards. And she tucks it away.
So, on your way up the short, steady slope towards the village, is there anything else that you're discussing or doing on your way?
I'm just keeping an eye on Kimbolito, making sure that they are steady on their feet because they're probably high as a kite. Because they're that relaxed. Just, yeah.
Cool. Okay. As you get closer to I can't think of the right word, the dwelling area, the populated area, the place where it happened, the buildings.
City?
City's too big. The town, possibly too big.
Village.
The village, yeah. The
Hamlet.
As you get to the place where the people are,
I do want to be there.
A bit like after the explosion of the Death Star on the forest moon of Endor, in the Ewok village, where the party vibe is kind of really quite jubilant and fun and hip and happening. That's the kind of vibe and atmosphere that you get here. There's music playing, there's people partying, it's jubilant, it's happy, they're excited, they're about to have a really good time.
I suppose before we get all the way there, Kimbolito, is there somewhere like a communications hub or something where we could call the ship before we make a scene?
Well, you could try from the main office, I guess. Or you could just have a drink, have some cake.
And are we already going to the main office?
Is the main office connected to the main hall?
No, they're different. Main hall, that's where we go to have happy fun times. Main office, like it sounds a bit more boring. We do office stuff, official stuff, you might say, paperwork and phone calls and paperwork.
Right, office it is then. We should
Okay.
please lead the way. We should.
It's
try
that
to-
boring grey building over there.
Brilliant.
And he points you in the direction of said grey building.
To the boring gray building. Ooh, ooh.
That makes sense.
It looks slightly the same colour as Jonathan. Jonathan feels a
You can't tell the
strange
difference.
draw towards this building.
It's very big.
I will do well here.
Like, I walk into Jonathan thinking it's the building.
Much administration
door
work
on this
goes on
thing.
here.
If I could give you an upshift for every role in this building, I would, but that's not part of the system, so I can't.
I'll take like rerolling 20s.
No. Let's try. No. Cool. Yeah. So it's open. They have kind of
Okay.
very low security. So, and there's nobody there because they're all too busy partying. So you
Sweet.
make your way in and you find the comms room quite easily.
Right. See if we can't get a hold of.
I think
El
our
Capitan.
quarters with this.
Are you
communication
sure
system
it
to
is
boost-
a good idea to talk to the ship first before we find out what is going on?
I think
Before
the
I
command needs to know
potentially
that
accuse the leader of this planet of involuntary manslaughter at the minimum, we should maybe talk to the captain.
I
Yes.
believe the protocol, as 4 of 8 is suggesting at this point,
Yeah.
would be to inform
I
the captain.
If nothing else, we should tell them that the XO is dead.
I know the protocol, but logically, wouldn't we want to find more evidence?
We do not need to make any accusations. Just the XO was
make
here.
them aware.
The XO no longer. Well, I suppose technically the XO forevermore is here. Rock.
Yeah,
Again,
no, I'm calling it.
as-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need some advice, if nothing else. This is over my head.
Janeway maneuver.
If we find a wormhole, perhaps we can delay our responsibility.
If we slingshot around the sun, we can bring the XO back to life. Yeah.
Until then, unfortunately, I
Are
do
there
believe
any
it falls
Eden
upon your
planets
shoulders
nearby?
to inform the captain of what has fallen.
Do
Understood.
we need to interface with, or can we just like make a call on their thing?
Slap your tricorder down. Their system is Starfleet not
Simple enough.
Starfleet standard, but standard comms protocol. It'll interface. It can do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
So,
Ensign Samara to the Andala.
if somebody sciencey would like to make a reason science,
I can do that.
or if somebody would like to do control engineering to support.
I am not good at either of those things.
I think that's Jonathan. That's Saleya and Jonathan.
I can do science. I like science.
I will try the controlled
But does
engineering.
science like you?
I hope so. Can I use the
How
last
badly can it go?
momentum?
Go for it.
Awesome.
Fine, yeah. I'll just use threat for dice. It's fine. I don't mind.
This does not go with any of my medicine or biology. Language wouldn't go with any of this, would it?
I'm afraid not.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Oh, no.
Did you fucking do it again?
Yes, he did.
How?
It's 3 successes and a complication.
Why?
I'm struggling to think up complications for you at this point, young man.
Don't look at me.
What can explain?
Okay.
We just don't need one. It's fine.
Just
Don't
bank
look
the
at me.
threat. It's fine.
Yeah, just bank the threat. Just bank the threat.
Yeah, I'll take the threat. I've still not even dealt with one of the complications from above because I've still not worked out what to do with it.
I don't understand either. All right? I don't get it. I don't get why
Jonathan
I
has
am
a heart
the
attack.
20 magnet.
Oh, no, actually, I know what I'll do.
Oh no.
I've just spent 2 of those threat people at home. Okay, so 3 successes. I'll be kind. You, whilst working, you're not getting a voice signal back. But on the tricorder, teeny tiny screen, you do get a broken line of text. That with it's slow going, but you work out with your collective intelligence that it says something along the lines of I'm not going to type it. Type it while saying it out loud, more. Ionic interference, high, text only, Indala receiving. Go ahead.
Yeah. I'd like to exposit, please.
I think that Saleya should be the one to type this out.
What?
Our logic person.
Indeed.
Sure.
Tommy,
Requesting a commanding
Guidance.
officer.
Yeah, that's not-
Requesting the presence of another commanding officer. Complications with EXO. Something like that.
I agree. And then I type that out and send it.
Transport unavailable. Ionization too high. Risk to life.
Fuck it. EXO's dead.
Yeah.
Please advise.
The EXO has unfortunately
Expired.
perished. Please advise. Send. I just really wanted to use the word perish.
Perish the
He
thought.
has ceased to be. He is an XXO.
At least he's not a triple XO.
He's just a double EXO because he's got X's for eyes
Yeah.
now.
We treat death so seriously in this game.
Cheers.
Lower decks.
You get the message. Please confirm. Commander XO deceased? ?
Confirmed. Send.
Mission parameters remain. Ensign Roxamara in command.
Damn it.
Endala working to regain contact. Endala out.
Well, we're on our own. Great. All right. Let's go cause a fucking diplomatic incident. Mission parameters stay the same. I told you, like, things happened. Like, the planet didn't eat the commander. Like, that's not weird.
It would
You're supposed
appear
to just
that
go
they
have
do
a
not
party?
want us to investigate this.
Perhaps is there some I think we're gonna have to talk to Maffa Guy, no matter how much I don't want to.
From this
Like
office,
nothing else
can I
knows too much and is gonna
access
blast.
the history databanks?
Sorry, I had two conversations in my ear at the same time.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Michael, what did you say?
Said, if nothing else, Kimbolito knows too much and is going to blab.
Sabina, what did you say?
I wanted to ask the history databanks of the computer, if I could, from the office.
Okay, so Salea, please make an reason, either science or security check.
Mm-hmm.
Whilst you're doing that, Rock. Actually, I'm going to make you roll for it because the rolls have been diabolical. Please make a insight. Paying a fucking tension. Insight command roll.
Insight pay attention. I don't have that one.
Is that not
If there's
on
a
your
pay
character
attention
sheet?
roll, it's never going to be
Psychology?
anything but complications for
No,
this.
not psychology. That doesn't count.
Okay, cold reading?
Nope.
Okay. I don't know what I'm rolling for, so hand-to-hand combat, does that apply?
I'm afraid not.
I'm paranoid, so I'm going to give you a threat for more dice. I don't know why I'm rolling, so that's what's happening. Insight, command.
He has
Okay,
so
here we
much
go.
threat.
I know, I love it.
We're all dead. Oh!
No.
Was that a successful roll, though? Did I succeed?
That's the question. Yeah.
The complications of this.
The complication is
Oh, well,
really a
good.
complication. Did you succeed? Because the complication could mean that no, you didn't. You do have 2 momentum. I will be that kind. Because that was a difficulty 0, but oh boy.
Okay. So, about one or more. Roll one challenge.
Yeah, so
Right.
Rock, you look around and you realize what do you challenge dicing for?
Untap potential.
Oh, because you spent a threat.
Yeah.
Oh, right, cool.
Yeah. See if we got any more momentum.
Realize that your friend Kimbolito is not with you.
Belay that, Kimbolito is currently blabbing to probably the entire population.
Right, hold that thought. Salea, what were you looking for in the historical database?
I would like to search for anything of what was it?
Relevance?
Missing
relevance,
people.
anything of missing persons, anything strange happening in the last few years.
Okay, with 2
Really?
successes, you find nothing of that variety at all.
Okay. And then hearing Kimberlita's gone, I will quickly backtrack all of that information and then look to them and be like, what do we do now?
We should probably go find Kimbolito. Maybe we can catch them before they panic an entire planetary population.
Could I make a roll to try and figure out where they went with a survival focus?
4 to the skies.
Oh yeah, I can
1
fly up and
second.
try and find him. I have wings.
Exactly.
At
Fly
first,
4, fly.
Oh, no.
That's an order.
I thought you said
I've,
disguise.
every time I spend threat is when Killian's speaking, and I'm not picking on Killian. It's just whenever I actually get around to typing that I'm spending threat, Killian happens to be speaking.
I mean, I'm not even the one getting the complications this episode.
And yet somehow you are. Okay, sorry. So what's happening? Because
Four wants to try and locate Kimbolito, flying up, possibly using survival focus for trekking.
Okay, that's fine. I would suggest you leave the building first.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
So as you make your way to the back downstairs, and you exit the building, there are already a number of people not in the part. Yes, Jonathan.
Jonathan is
No,
going
you
to hang
can't.
back.
You can't just stay in the safety of the boring office building.
No, Jonathan is going to hang back because
Yeah.
he wants to try and find an alternative way outside of the building, just in case.
Jump out the
Okay.
window.
He's slightly concerned where this is going.
Okay.
Here
So-
come the pitchforks and torches.
Feel free to explain to your team.
Well, 4 of 8's heading towards the door, and Rock's following. I'm
Yeah.
not sure. Yeah. Jonathan's just going to have a little bit of an amble around and see if there's a back door. Perhaps that might be sneakier.
Yeah,
Just
I'll
in
say there's
case
more than one door.
Kimbolito did
Yeah,
something
safety, fire
silly.
safety. There is absolutely another exit. That's not a problem.
He'll even send a message to Rock and just found a second exit. Maybe we don't go out the same way we came in.
I'm pretty sure 4 is already out the front door.
Yeah, 4's already. Yeah. She kind of flew down the stairs a little bit. So she's excited to fly. So too late.
That
But
bow.
good on you. If we need to run away, we'll go that way.
Soleil, are you hanging back with Jonathan to find an alternative exit, or are you going with Commander Gung Ho and Princess Winged? Winged Fury.
Logically, the answer would be to hang back. So that is what she is doing because
Okay.
they may be wanted for something. So she is hanging back with Jonathan.
Split the party. Excellent idea.
In the last episode.
As somebody started spending threat.
Yep.
Okay. 4 of 8 and Rock. You get to the door of the building and the music is still playing and some people are still partying, but there is definitely half of the people there and now running, screaming. Panic is setting in.
Definitely flying up in the air to see what the hell's going on now.
Yeah. See if it's
So-
like a panic in like a circle around Kimbolito, if you would.
Okay. 4, you take to the air. You see people are kind of, it's a bit Scooby-Doo. People are running into buildings, out of buildings, into buildings, out of buildings. Some people are just getting drunk at speed. People handle panic in different ways. And yeah, Kimberlito, you spot. And no, I'll make you roll for do you spot Kimberlito. Give me a keen observation, reason, and command.
Okay.
Rock, make me a insight and command roll if you would like to try and locate him in this
focus.
Investigation.
Yeah, you can. Both of you can use a focus. Both of you have stuff that apply to this, so that's fine. Nice, good one. 4 of 8. I'll wait until Rock's got his in. Yeah, okay. You gain a memento.
1 memento.
3. You both, almost at the same time, clock where Kimberlito is. He's at a table, quite chilled out. He's got a drink in one hand and a big slice of cake in the other. And he's casually chatting, going, I heard the rumors about Starfleet coming and that you might be turned into like a god, or they might upset some kind of giant thing and you become a head floating through space, or that there might be some like rogue AI that tries to take over, or they might bring some kind of religion, or like pirates will arrive and try and steal everything, or that a volcano will erupt and suddenly everybody has to leave, or there'll be like some kind of poison thing, or like the Borg will arrive, which they kind of did, but not. Because she's kind of cool. I like the feathers. They're just like, do you think they're soft or do you think they're kind of prickly? Are they waterproof? Is that racist? Anyway, so I wonder if she has a pillow stuffed with her own feathers, or is that right? How does she poop? Does she poop when she flies? Anyway, so the rumors about Starfleet bringing disaster, probably true, but I didn't think that they would be like freaking out because a planet eats you, because that just sounds ridiculous. Like, planets don't eat people. Anyway, is this cake gluten free? I don't know why he's suddenly American. Kimberly, is this cake gluten free? And he is chilled out as he is high as a kite, because one of the conversations that I spent was his reaction to the anesthetic.
And I'm guessing all of the panicking is radiating out from him.
Yeah, so he is just he is chilled out, and the tea is being spilt, and everybody else is not quite as chilled out as he is. And Chinese
Leia,
whispers,
you should have knocked his ass out. He's causing panic.
Accidentally, yeah. At this point,
Brock, if you make your way to this table right below me, yeah.
He sees you coming.
I wish punching people would help this point.
Buddy, Kate, drink.
I'm gonna grab the drink. Does it smell like alcohol?
Yeah.
I'm gonna chug it.
Okay.
Valid.
All right. Well, you've done it. Congratulations. You've panicked your population.
Why?
Do I see Maffa Guy or anybody that looks authoritative making their way out to this square?
At that point, almost as if it was scripted, the doors to the main hall open, and Maffa Guy is there in this very sensible, wonderful, like black and besequined, very chic, very glamorous, very demure, very like wonderful top half of an outfit. Like very tuxedo, but dialed up to 12. And then the lower half is this fantastic gown that's all like pinks and yellows and purples and vibrants and blues and greens and sequins and like all sorts of different shimmer and layers of oil and voile, not of oil, of voile, and organza and, you know, plumes and everything everywhere. Sequins, feathers, glitters, the lot.
Tulle, so it's as high as their shoulders.
Yeah, tall for months. Fills the entire of this barn doorway. It's that flamboyant. And they look across this scene of spreading chaos on the day of their blessing that they have waited 100 years for of their grand harvest, and is struggling to take it in. And they just go, how did this happen? Hello and welcome back, viewers. Thank you for coming back to join us for the final part of the Maglan complication. I think we can call that this saga, isn't it? The Maglan complication. Yes. So just as we left for our quick break, Muffy Guy, who currently leads this ragtag bunch of farm folk, had opened the doors, revealing themselves fabulously, and wished to know how has this happened? The scene of chaos continues to unfold as you lay your eyes on a rather concerned looking Muffy Guy.
Right. Well, I'll put the cup down. Just side eye fucking Kimbolito. You should.
He's face deep in cake. Yeah.
Or stay there. Or yeah, you're good.
Thor does go down to land and alights in front of Mafia Guy and stands at attention. We have run into an issue, and we had to sedate your man Kimbolito, and unfortunately that made him chatty, and he escaped our watchful eye, and that is what is causing the panic.
As I'm walking up, Jonathan, Saleya, please join us at the party building.
Party Central. Muffy Guy thinks about what you said, and he goes, I'm trying to remember the voice. Hello and welcome. I still don't understand what you're saying. What could they have said that caused so much panic and distress amongst my people?
Our XO got shifted into another dimension, and we found him in the Under Harvest and some creature.
Is this one of your Starfleet shenanigans? Are you up to hijinks?
No.
Absolutely not.
Would I have had the presence of mind to try to see if I could get some sort of photographic evidence of the vaguely present XO in the wall?
Let me ask you, did you take any photographs of the vaguely present XO?
I would have tried to if it was able to like catch it on film and wasn't just something we saw in person.
You had your tricorders out, so I will say you have some kind of partial scan data.
We could spend 2 momentum and make it true.
You can spend some threat and make it true.
That too, yeah.
I'll spend some threat and make it true. Let's do it.
No, you can spend a couple of momentum.
Okay.
2 momentum. Yeah.
Bam.
Don't think that's quite how they work, but we'll go with it. And yeah, you have
advantage,
this
I guess.
scan data. It's not great. It's not like, oh, look at this photograph I took, because they're not really built for transphase scans. It's a technology, it's a science that's kind of not your everyday common or garden tricorder scenario. It's a bit like trying to use a hammer to take out a screw. You can do it, but it's not pretty.
Yeah.
So you absolutely have some of that data with you.
I'll present it to her and say, we also had a creature. We've been calling it the planet, but I don't think it's really the planet, that gave us visual conversation in our brains. It was weird. But apparently that is how the crops are refreshed every 100 years, is by somebody becoming one with this creature.
Is looking at the tricorder and like scrutinizing the data, and then looks at you, looks at Rock, kind of looks.
Is this a
over.
surprise to them? I would kind of like. Okay, can I read?
Oh, are you going to try and do a read?
Yeah. I want to know if this is if they're surprised.
Yeah, do a read roll, please.
Yeah. I'm gonna drop that last momentum.
Uh-huh.
Ciao.
Nice.
From them, you're still getting disbelief. So it's not surprise, because surprise would be that they believed what you were saying. They're still not convinced. They're more in confusion.
But
and as you're reading, you get Muffy Guy asks, have you two been at the Dingle Wine? It's quite deceptively strong, particularly this vintage.
I don't drink.
No.
We haven't had a single thing to drink all day.
At that
Saleya
point,
says as
Muffy
she
Guy looks at
approaches.
Rock. I don't think that's entirely true.
Yeah, I had a drink 3 minutes ago, and I'm a Klingon, so don't worry about it. No, the XO came to speak with us and vanished. We found traces of transphase ionic energy, and we picked up his comm badge signal in your underharvest. We went to the underharvest, found. Did you miss that a minute ago? Yeah.
I do have persuasion as a focus. If you would like me to try to roll to persuade them.
Muffy Guy looking genuinely concerned. It's like, but why did you go to the underharvest? That place is extremely dangerous and off limits. Did Kimberlito not tell you not to go there? You could have had a terrible mishap could have befallen.
That is.
They suggested that it was dangerous, but that was where the signal was emanating from, and we had no choice. Our XO was missing.
We were able to locate his communications badge on our tricorders, and it was down there, and we needed to make sure our commanding officer on the ground was okay, and he was not.
No.
Excuse me. Why is the underharvest dangerous and off limits?
It always has been. We have always been told and always been brought up that the underharvest is a place that we do not need to go, because we are the harvest, and the harvest is all that we are. We stay with the harvest above the land. I don't know why that came out that way. Above land. We tend to the harvest and we look after it, and we have just always been told never to venture into the Underharvest, so we have not.
The being that enables the
Fascinating.
life cycle of your planet lives down there.
She smiles and kind of makes a dismissive. So, it sounds a little far-fetched that there is a being living under our planet that makes all of our crops grow. That does not sound like a very scientific Starfleet theory. That's the word.
What we have seen and what we experienced is the truth, regardless of how believable. And I would like to make a roll with my persuasion focus to try and persuade her to believe what we're fucking saying.
I would like to
yes.
assist.
That would be presence, command, and persuasion then.
Same for the assist.
Same for the assist.
And I'm going to give you threat and roll an extra die.
I don't have. Roll one die.
Yes!
Nice.
5 successes total.
Finally!
Look at that.
Just Jonathan's still not here yet.
Oh, I see. You locked him in the office.
just walked back.
I see.
Jonathan's just skulking around the
It's where he
outside of
belongs.
the group. Just
When you go and try and find Jonathan, it's just a com badge left in the office. He's just fled.
yeah.
I feel sad. Okay, 5 successes. Moffig Eye's expression falters as she tries to wrap her head around the suggestion that their whole civilization is based upon the loss of one of their people in order to fuel the harvest of the crops of the entire planet. That's a big
lot.
thing to drop on someone, particularly, well, at any time of the week, particularly as they are about to go into a once in 100-year blessing of it's the most spiritually significant thing that happens in
We can show
their
you
cycle.
some proof where we were deploying our equipment where the EXO disappeared from.
It's likely
In
they're
that
still
spot, the transphase
Moffig
ionic...
holds up a hand whilst you start talking and goes, there will probably be time for that after the blessing. However, we have, and as she checks, I don't know, because Moira isn't, as they check their timepiece, a projection appears in the central square of a timer counting down from 30. As she goes, again, stop it, James. As they go, we have just 30 seconds until the blessing. I am at a loss of quite how to. If my people are literally the harvest, I don't know
with
how.
the blessing, and we can help you through this after.
The scene cuts to back on the ship. We're back in astrometrics. And it's a bit like the New Year's countdown. As everyone in astrometrics is like 10, 9. The half of the crew that aren't actually on duty are just unconscious by this point. Half of them are still playing some kind of very bizarre drinking game that involves like spring ball paddles and balancing shots on like pyramid-shaped bricks. As Magellan Prime is the final planet to come into the alignment of all of the other astral bodies in the system. The ensigns with the Trill Science Officer poised like a coiled spring above their consoles. And as they get down to 3, 2, 1, they start their scans as the planets align and everybody starts cheering. Down on the planet. These things are happening simultaneously, but obviously I'm having to jump as things are happening. Where you are, Moffigai is still just staring almost blankly into this tricorder as the enormity of the situation is crushing in on them.
Oh, God.
Not just around what it means for their past, but what it means for their future. Do they stay and continue to choose who becomes the next gift of life? Because the crop isn't just for them, it feeds and provides life for much of the rest of the system. Do they leave and therefore potentially doom this creature that lives here to die when they have lived together in almost like a symbiotic harmony for a very long time? Did you have a question, Matt?
I was going to say something, but I think Sabina was waiting first,
You
to be
can
fair.
you can go first
You sure?
after. Yes.
Jonathan has sort of snaked his way through the crowd of people and has been listening to the exchange and seen this crisis of faith, and just says to Moffigai, nothing has changed. You have always said that you are the harvest. You have always dedicated your lives to feeding an entire network of planets, to the harvest, to ensuring that this goes off without any misstep. This all remains the same. How you look at it now is your choice, but nothing has changed.
Sabina?
Hi. I have a theory, as does Saleya, that's been building up over the game. That words are hard. That's my theory. That with no missing persons ever recorded, and with the alignment of planets coming and the planet about to be renewed, I would like to check Saleya would like to check her tricorder for any life signs of the exo.
Okay. As you're checking your life sign, scanning for life forms, your lovely little life forms, and as Jonathan is finishing talking, in the background of the shot, we see the clock ticking down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What you don't see, slightly further around the planet, approximately the underground cave network where you were previously. Emerging from the ground, chasing into being, is a giant creature. radiant colours with ribbons of multispectral energy and shimmering gloss shedding from every scale of its body. It's the length of 3 or 4 747 jets, like nose to tail. Its body around is probably the diameter of a double-decker bus, easily. The energy that seems to be shimmering from it comes from within it, and it's building as this creature soars freely into the sky, joyfully, as it opens its mouth, and a crackly, screeching roar emits forth, carried forth on like an iridescent gust of breath into the atmosphere. The intensity of the energy coming from within the creature grows until it explodes outwards. All of the Maglans around you get washed over with an invisible energy, and they all lift slightly off the floor, a foot or so. Their heads lolled back effortlessly, their eyes open and alight, their arms hung limp from their bodies.
The hell?
Their mouths nice and open, their bodies wrapped with pleasure as a new life, as new vigor is breathed into them. The soil, the crops, the mountains, the valleys, the rivers, all are replenished with a new energy, as if they've just been created. The energy from the creature expands outwards further and envelops the planet. You see the sky change to this rolling spectral, like tidal surge. It washes over you and you can feel it, but it doesn't hurt, it doesn't burn, it doesn't make you feel any kind of negative sensation. You just feel this slight tingle of charge. Back on the ship, they see this energy kind of wrap around the planet and build. And then it gets pulled from Maglum Prime down through the line of planets, kind of washing over each one as in line, and then down into the central sun. Some of the energy dissipates off out into the wider galaxy, but most of it is taken straight into the sun itself. For the 4 of you stood together, John, you just kind of get this gentle, happy feeling. Unintrusive, just content, happy. 4 of 8, you feel quite a muted feeling, almost apologetic, like someone's not trying to give you a hug, but they're trying to give you comfort, but without making you feel anxiety, or that they might have made you feel uncomfortable previously and that they're being careful around that. Saleya, you've not felt this interaction before. This is completely new to you. But from your Vulcan practice of meditation and from your understanding of your Katra and how the spiritual side of your Vulcan ancestry and upbringing, you feel an instant shift and focus straight into the middle of peace and renewal, a calm and focus that you have only ever read about, that only people mythically could achieve. Rock, you feel a surge of pride and glory and a well-cut hemline. As you look around, and particularly Rock, as you look around, because you are still all free to move whilst the Maglans are just floating, you're very aware that this is just pure joy that they're experiencing. Absolute bliss. And then the energy pulls away, the light pulls away, and they return to their feet. And then some of them just kind of slump back down into chairs or onto tables with bottles and cake, and the panic has dissipated. And the music fades back in. The clock has disappeared. Moffigai lands back on their feet, holding a tricorder, and just looks up at you and goes, I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Is there a noticeable change in how they're now reacting towards us?
Yeah, there is zero panic happening around you. Everybody is kind of, if you imagine being at a party, when a party really hits its stride, and then after that, kind of in the interim between people are starting to go to bed, they're partied out, but they're feeling really good about being partied out. Not the bit that comes after when you've partied too hard and you regret it, but you're kind of in that zone of optimal party joy, and we should probably go to sleep now.
Does Moffigai in particular look like they even remember what we had just been telling them?
Not a clue.
Cool.
Right. I'm just gonna grab the tricorder.
Happy blessing, and Four is gonna walk away.
Happy harvest. We're glad we could help in whatever way we were able to help. I'm gonna maybe have some cake now.
Four is going to kind of motion to Jonathan and Saleya to follow and get far enough away from Moffigai to try comms again and see if we can contact the ship.
Before you manage to hit your comm badge, you get a very concerned Captain Trent to Ensign Samara.
Samara here.
I do not know what just happened, but the ionic interference in the upper atmosphere has gone. We need you to report immediately.
We have so much to report.
There's a lot to go over. We will be ready for transport shortly. We should probably do this.
We await your signal.
All right. Smart out. All right, everybody ready to go home?
So are we totally honest, or do we fudge any of this bullshit? Because I'm going to be totally honest.
Of course you are.
Not told
there's no reason to lie. I think I felt Exo, and he was happy.
Did you feel him inside you?
I did. It was very weird, but I think he's, in whatever way, he's happy with what he's done. I don't know how to put it. It's pride. He's proud.
The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. He's helped millions of people.
It's interesting that a man possessed of that much arrogance did a sacrifice like this.
Well, not like he had a choice.
I suppose, yeah.
Anyways, ready for transport.
Hold on. I'll grab a whole cake. You're now ready for transport.
Beam us up.
You feel the familiar tingle of energy, and your field of vision blurs with blue-white light as the Indala's transport beams envelop you and take you straight to the captain's ready room. All four of you. The captain is there. Sat in his chair. Well, no, he's not sat. He's rather tense. He's stood waiting. And you arrive with a cake.
Oh, well, this is not where I thought we'd land, sir. Cake?
Captain.
So a lot has happened.
Yeah, it's been quite the strange last few hours. There's a lot to go over.
Four will pull out her tricorder and present it to him. We do have readings of where we found Exo. And the creature that kind of talked to us, it was disconcerting, to say the least, especially as a liberated Borg. And yeah, but objective achieved. The crops are good again.
Did you establish that before you left the planet?
No, we didn't.
We
No,
did
we
not
establish
shit.
anything. We just
That's
Woof.
fair. That's fair.
checking.
But
No, no, actually, that was me being a little bit cheeky. So because you have that network of probes in the ground, and because the ionic interference has cleared, the Indala is absolutely capable of connecting to that network to provide additional scans. So you would absolutely have the data to show that the crops are actually now thriving. It's not that they take time to regrow. They are missing elements of the amino chains exist again.
Yeah.
we do believe that Exo was a sacrifice of sorts, but the Maglan people were genuinely unaware that there's apparently each
They forget.
100 years somebody has to perish in order for the crops to thrive. And from what we just witnessed with what happened to them during the blessing, they very obviously lose a chunk of the time before the blessing in their memory.
Very well. Ensigns, as you can understand, there will be a full individual debrief on this. I would appreciate your full, honest, and frank assessments of what happened. Counseling will be available, as always, to all of you, and I encourage you to pursue that or any other supportive therapy that we can make available.
My doors are always open.
Sorry, that's really thrown me. I was doing so well. I'm spending 5 threat to throw you out of an airlock. We will be remaining in orbit for a day or so more to continue gathering information from the planet and to make sure Well, and to investigate a bit further as to what the energy surge was that we just saw, as we feel that that might have been a once in a lifetime. But if there's anything that you need, absolutely, be sure to let your commanding officers know.
Plates and forks. And a knife. Sir.
There will be a service for Commander Exo. And I expect you to all attend. You're dismissed.
Thank you, Captain.
Grab the cake and leave
Captain.
again. Captain. Guess he didn't want a cake.
No, he will not have cake.
More cake for us.
Oh my god.
The four of you file out of the room and head to the turbo lift. Going across the bridge with a cake.
With a cake.
Saleya is not amused.
The Lieutenant Commander Tok enters. The captain crosses to the replicator. Replicates 2 slices of cake. And 2 drinks. And they start a very deep and serious conversation over cake about what's going to happen next. The 4 of you in your turbo lift. Over to you.
Did you have to offer him cake?
I was holding a cake. It's only polite.
You could have hidden it, like, behind your back.
That's
I'm pretty
worse.
I'm pretty
Jonathan.
Sure Captain is.
Can't hide cake.
We could have replicated cake.
It's a war crime.
Fake is a lie. I'm too nauseous for cake. That was a day. I'm gonna go lay down. Yeah.
Do you need?
Should I save you some cake?
I'm not a big fan of sugar.
Jonathan pulls out one of the sick bags. He's like, "Do you need one of these?"
No, I need to lay down.
Scanning her with a tricorder.
Just he passes one over to 4 of 8 anyway, and it's just
Tucked it into a wing.
cleaning out all of that is just take the bag, just in case.
I've just got images of Jonathan now putting a sick bag in everybody's bunk. Just trust me, I've been there. Trust me, I've been there.
Whatever happened to Holly?
Don't know, don't care. Walks up to the turbo lift.
Flashback. As you all went into the office building, Holly was checking tasks off on her pad. She completed her duties, so when Kimberlito suggested going and getting a drink and cake, she went and got a drink and cake. You missed in the background that whilst all the chaos, panic, and disorder was happening, she was having a gay old time. Drinks, bandana, crown. She was living it large. Yeah, she had a great time. Yeah, so in the background of the panic scene, she was just there, living it up. Back to you.
At least someone had fun.
What are you talking about? I had a great time. Mystery solved.
Right.
Okay, on mystery solved.
Four does want to check the tricorder just to see if there was activity around where they had been at the under harvest, out of sheer curiosity.
So are you talking about scanning the planet now?
Using the tricorder to access any scans that the ship had
Sensor logs.
taken.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I'll say you can take a step up from using your tricorder and you're now a pad on the ship. Like, you've tied into the main computer, so it's a bit potato tomato. You may do a reason and science roll.
Can I use determination since I have one I never used over all of the episodes?
To use determination, you have to have a... What's the word I'm looking for?
Relevant value.
Yes, a value that's coming into play.
Oh, watch each other's back, maybe?
Yeah, or duty bound to Starfleet. I would allow either of those.
Okay.
The ship will also assist you.
Woohoo! Woohoo!
With sensors and science.
Would you please roll all of my rolls from now onwards? I mean,
My last few
we're a
rolls
little bit
have
late
been
for that,
amazing.
dang.
We need to roll from the ship too. Oh, you got it.
What?
5
Yeah.
successes.
Nice. I would give you momentum, but at this point it's kind of moot. So you start going through astrometrics data, which is all available, and you get to watch, you get to frame by frame, essentially, through what the ship recorded as the alignment occurred and the energy surge happened. The data leading up to the entire planet being enveloped is patchy because of that ionization. So you've kind of got the zoomed out view, so you can see this energy swirl. You can see approximately from being very high up where it came from on the planet. So you can kind of approximate within a degree of success. On 5 successes, you're pretty confident that the energy that initiated whatever that chain reaction was came from the vicinity of the cave that you were in. You can make out from how far away you were, and with the resolution of the sensors, a streamer of energy that came out, that grew, and then enveloped the entire planet, which then shot down the row of planets and into the sun. You can't make out the finer detail, so this is a bit meta-y, so you can't determine that it was a living creature as described, but it's not beyond the realm of your experience as a Borg and as an explorer that there are beings that are made literally of energy. Particularly as you know that this is a transphase related creature, so it absolutely could exist in some other phasic realm. And through crossing over, that's how it released its energy. It occurs to you as a theory that part of this creature's life cycle could well be tied to the planetary alignment in this system, and the gravitational pull, or the transphase pull, is what brings it into this reality just as it's about to expire and expend its energy into this system before it ends its life cycle. But that perpetuates a new life cycle, which then continues. Much like when you have the giant aquatic species of Earth that have very small species that live in their wake as they swim around. They provide nurture for the larger creature and keep it clean
It's
and
a
healthy.
symbiotic relationship.
Yeah. It's a circle of life. That is very
Fuller will
much a...
sit down once they've gone through all of that, sit down in their bunk and write out a memo that is directly tied to, there is a creature, it goes through a life cycle, and that's why the crops start to fail. So in 100 years, when this happens again, please reference this memo to put in with her debrief.
Has anybody else got anything they would like to do before we move on the ship?
Rocky's sitting in his bunk eating cake.
Okay. What's the name of the character that I can't think of right now? Bruce Bogtrotter. That's it. Eating a whole cake to himself.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, nobody wanted any. I brought a whole cake, so.
So the camera pans out of the window to the view of Maglum Prime from between the nacelles out the back of the ship from the tail end of your corridor. We then lights up in the cargo bay, where there is an open case photon torpedo. The crew are lined up in ranks. There is a podium at which Lieutenant Commander Tock and the captain are stood. And inside of the torpedo is, because there were no remains, unfortunately, is a dress scant uniform. The captain stands at the podium and starts to speak. Commander Exo was a particularly unique Starfleet officer. Whilst many would shun the particular belief systems that he held and the style of leadership that he chose, he remained steadfast and true to who he was in the face of every adversity, every challenge, and every voice that claimed him to be anything less than who he was. In terms of being true to oneself, true to one's belief, and true to Starfleet, there was no finer example. Whilst I may have disagreed with many of his approaches, and whilst I may have doubted the veracity of some of his more exotic tales of conquest, I always knew I could rely on his bravery and his courage and his judgment to do probably the best thing at any moment in time. With no family left of his own, this crew was his family. We shall carry his memory with us as we continue our adventure, and we shall honor him wherever we can. Attention. And the case of the photon torpedo closes.
The four of you, 4 of 8, Saleya, Jonathan, and Rock, form up on the torpedo casing as the shell closes, and you escort it between the rows of officers to the exit out into space from the cargo bay. As the 4 of you give him the inertia that he needs, and the torpedo casing drifts peacefully towards the sun at the center of the Magellan system, where he will be consumed. You fall back into position in the funeral procession, and the Chief Petty Officer blows the appropriate whistle. The captain The captain dismisses you all, and the crew breaks. There will, of course, be a wake in 10 forwards. There will be cake at the wake in 10 forwards. But yes, the bridge crew return to the bridge. You return to whatever you're going to be doing for the rest of your evening. However, the camera follows the captain onto the bridge, where he is immediately greeted by tension. The person at tactical goes, "Captain, we're currently receiving an SOS." Very well, on screen. That's just it, sir. It's a Morse code SOS, but it's not a save our souls. It's save our software. And that's where we will end.
Fascinating.
We did it! Yay!
We did it!
Oh, I've still got a load of threat. I'm going to spend all of this, and the ship blows up.
Damn it. I literally just said nobody
How about
died.
that stuff?
Realised I was muted. Unmuted myself in time to hear Jay say,
No one's
Everybody
saving that
blows up.
software now.
Sorry, software.
Sorry, software, whatever you might be. Okay, so Killian, your favorite moment for you, your favorite moment for somebody else.
Favorite moment for me was finally flying.
Yay!
as a flighty player.
She can
favorite-
fly, she can fly, she flew.
she also has
In order.
Favorite
You're
moment
flying
for somebody else was the 4 complications.
Thanks.
It became a bit, and we commit to the bit.
Thank
We do,
you
in
very
fact,
much.
commit to the bit. It's on the wall, people.
Matt, over to you. Favorite moment for you, favorite moment for someone else.
You know what? The fact that I apparently can't roll without generating a complication.
Mhm.
I am changing my name to Captain
Complication.
Complication.
Are you
taking
changing your
control
name
of
now?
the ship. And taking control of the ship because I'm now captain. I'm captain now. Favorite scene? I have to say it was Rock just appearing in the captain's ready room and just being like, "Would you like some cake?" Yes, that is exactly what this situation deems. Cake.
Lower
Thank
decks.
Sabina, favorite moment for yourself, favorite moment for someone else.
Oh gosh, for Saleya, it was doing doctory things and being like, ah, yes, this person is being very not calm. Ah, yes, sedate. This will make everything better. Did not.
Better for them, 100%, yeah.
Also just glaring at Holly. For somebody else, also just cake captain. Saleya, oh no, no cake.
In the background, the face palm.
Yelp.
Michael, favorite moment for Rock, favorite moment for someone else.
For someone else, it's the undeniable attraction between Saleya and Holly.
You can leave now. Get out.
I feel like Holly needs a character sheet now.
You're making it.
And I mean, for myself, I gotta go with the cake. 'Cause I understood the assignment. We're playing a lower decks game.
100%. Fantastic.
But as 4 of 8 said, the cake was a lie.
The
Not in
cake was
this
a
game.
distraction. The cake was a bomb and it explodes and all that. Okay. Epilogue. Post-credit epilogue. The bridge crew have managed to open a channel to whoever it is who has sent this distress call. On screen, you see shuffling into like a broken video image that is a bit staticky. It's kind of black background. It's quite dark. It's quite claustrophobic. You feel like they're probably hidden in a corner somewhere. And this humanoid face that's kind of blocky and rectangular appears. And he goes, "Hello. This is Captain Tren of the USS Endala." He goes, "Hello. I am Mandroid of the ship Red Shift. We have been boarded by pirates, and the crew and I are under great threat. And so are the pirates. We need you to save our software and probably bring them up." And that is where we finish.
I am not.
Maybe
taking the
join
mop.
us in the future
Yeah.
for more episodes of Lower Decks.
For mops.
If you enjoyed it, let us know. If you didn't, then you could have tuned out long before now. On that note, nerds, live long and prosper. Hailing frequencies closed.